Remember back in 2017 when half the world was loving the new wave of SoundCloud rappers while the other half hated them to death? During the same time as those Logan Paul and Rice Gum diss tracks, there was actually a scene of rappers blown up from YouTube. And this is where Dax came from. It all started for him in 2016 when a dude he used to play basketball with in college told him he was really good at making poetry. Before even making music, he was just writing the stuff down on paper. But this moment gave him the confidence to start actually putting it out there. He was dropping on SoundCloud and YouTube, and it didn't take him too long to start blowing up. How he first got famous was a song about that Cash Me Outside meme back in 2017. I am not joking. This was right when that meme was just getting popular, and for some reason he put featuring Danielle Bregoli in the title. It got over 20 million views, and this was the first of many remixes he would make over the years. He did make his own original music, but he really was more known for his remixes. He's also gone back and forth on diss tracks with people like KSI. Right when Dax was blown up, he was appealing to an audience that hated the new music coming out during the SoundCloud era, back in the days when people used to unironically say mumble rap. At the time, people were really liking his music for the lyricism that they thought was missing from hip-hop. He was one of many other rappers blown up on YouTube at the same time, and he was a part of the YouTube rap scene. Instead of having a mainstream audience, these guys were getting numbers on YouTube to a smaller but still big enough audience to still be technically famous. Back then, Dax still had some respect, but even before that change, he's been called corny for years, with KSI saying this back in 2018.
I guess there's Dax, but like,
I didn't know him. That's it.
I mean, but he's a poor man's Hobson, and Hobson is a poor man's Eminem.
And
so
Eminem is a poor man's Kendrick.
Yeah, and Eminem's a poor man's
I
Kendrick.
don't think that just seems
why
like
would anyone want to listen to a poor man's poor man?
That whole beef with KSI did have a lot of attention on him, but that did come from KSI making fun of him on his channel. Even then, Dax was still doing alright, but at the beginning of 2019, this was all gonna change. Even though Dax wasn't really recognized by the mainstream and only known in that YouTube rap scene, the fame got to his head. He started getting a big ego and he was talking shit behind his friends' backs. He started sneak dissing his rapper friends on the same song as them, saying they aren't good enough and I'm the GOAT. He was acting cool in his friends' faces, but really he hated the song they made together. During this time, he just started acting fake in general. He was also talking crazy, saying, I'ma win a Grammy, I'ma win an Oscar. It's normal to have dreams, but Dax was talking like he's Kanye and like he wasn't only popular on YouTube. When people started realizing this, Dax's reputation started falling apart. Everybody was starting to realize how fake he really was, and his old friends he switched up on started dissing him back. The YouTube rap scene started hating his ass, and this was when Dax started getting that reputation you might know him for today. But when you think things couldn't get worse, Dax made his next mistake when he decided to diss Tory Lanez just because he was on Twitter saying he's the GOAT. This is pretty normal shit to say in hip-hop, and I'm pretty sure every rapper you've heard of has called themselves the GOAT before. But this didn't stop Dax from saying, if you have no substance, you can't be great. You got no bars, but they hold no weight. When Tory heard this, he didn't like what he said, and he just so happened to run into Dax outside a club. He pulls out his phone, started pressing him, and made him say sorry on camera.
Apologize, bro. Apologize, bro. Or you know what's going on. Apologize, my nigga. Apologize, nigga.
I got you, bro.
Apologize, nigga.
I got you, man.
Say sorry, nigga.
My bad for the
Say
diss track,
sorry,
G.
nigga.
Sorry, G.
Alright, bet.
I got you, G.
This was probably Dax's first impression on a lot of people. This was the first time a lot of mainstream fans ever heard of Dax, and it was in the most embarrassing way possible. He was talking crazy on that song, but when he saw Tory in public, that's a whole different story. Apparently, Dax was trying to lie and say, oh, Tory jumped me, but Tory shut down those lies pretty quickly and pointed out how Dax was just trying to make himself look better. Dax had to take the fall for this one, and this whole Tory Lanez situation had him noticed by mainstream hip-hop, but for all the wrong reasons. He started being known as the guy who said sorry to Tory Lanez, as Nav said. Around this time was when Dax was starting to be seen as corny. And then, in the middle of everybody already hating him, he was out here scamming fans for $200. He was making up excuses for not doing features even though they paid him to do so. And only after getting backlash from this, he finally went and refunded the money, but it was too late. What made things even worse was that around the same time, he got exposed for stealing a Lil Peep verse a year before. At the time this happened, this was only months after Lil Peep died. Originally, Dax didn't give a f about the song until he figured out Lil Peep was blowing up, but then he begged to get on the song and paid $6,000 to get the feature. He then asked for the files to the song, stole them, kicked everybody else off the song except for Lil Peep, got a new beat, and put himself on the song. He even went to the trouble of putting random videos of Lil Peep in the music video for a song he didn't even know existed because he wasn't alive anymore. Getting in controversy every month back to back for 3 months was doing so much damage to Dax's career. And around the same time, the YouTube rap scene was starting to die off in 2019. People were losing interest and everybody from that era was fading away. But somehow, Dax's career didn't completely die after all the burned bridges and controversy. After he basically pissed off everybody he knew in hip-hop, he was at a crossroads. Either fade away into obscurity and be forgotten, or somehow have a comeback. He decided to get back up and get his career going again, but he had to think of a plan. Since he knew for a fact that nobody else in hip-hop liked him anymore, he chose to start pandering to a different audience. Let's just say he started making music for people who say, well, I don't listen to that hippity-hop stuff, but there's this feller. Over time, Dax changed his entire image, music, lyrics, and flow to appeal to an audience disconnected from mainstream hip-hop. This audience had never heard of him before, so they don't know about the shit that made him so hated in the first place. Dax knows this, and he started putting so much focus on pandering to this audience. He slowly went from being one of those YouTube rappers who made diss tracks to becoming a right-wing grifter over the next few years. He started making country music, and for some reason, Dax, who's a Canadian man from Newfoundland, is trying to imitate a Southern American accent. He made a song about alcoholism, and you got 40-year-old dads in the comment section relating to this song, not knowing how Dax is just taking advantage of them. And somehow the song went gold. Somehow the song did so good, it is his biggest song ever. And over the years, he's embraced the corniness, and he keeps doing corny shit on purpose. And he basically does this humiliation ritual in order to go viral, saying things that he doesn't agree with just so he can appeal to the racists. Look at this. Dax literally downplayed slavery as a black man. 7 years ago, Dax was making diss tracks, but now he's talking about dumb conspiracy theories. No, not the theories that turn out to be true. The tinfoil hat, flat earth type of conspiracy theories. He went from making that YouTube rap shit to this existential, sad old man music. You got random old men riding horses, countrysides, fake country accents, politics he does not believe in himself, but again, he's pandering to that Kid Rock audience. Dax has gotten most of his fan base he has now from the scheme he's been pulling for the last few years. He's become absorbed into the small Republican rap bubble of Canadian grifters who pander to American right-wingers. This is the definition of selling your soul. The lengths he goes to just to go viral is insane. I don't know what's worse, completely falling off or this shit. Dax is an example of how burning bridges and doing stupid shit for no reason can make you look like an idiot to the point where nobody in your genre even likes you like your MGK. Let this be a lesson to not ruin your career by dissing Tory Lanez. Let this be a lesson to not exploit a dead man who never knew you for profit. Let this be a lesson to not scam your fans out of money just cause you don't feel like doing a feature. Let this be a lesson to never be like Dax. Good night.